Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of A Gardener's Journey Homestead. I hope you saw that beautiful footage of the in-ground garden. Today I'm going to give you a tour. It is the last week of June, so things are popping in the garden. So I want to give you a tour today and show you how things are progressing, what's going really, really well, what may not be going well, and just show you all the things that's growing in the garden. I'm so excited. So for those that are new to me, this is my first year doing the in-ground garden. Excuse me. And so we started prepping this space back in March, and it has been a journey. Still not done yet. The fence is still yet to be done, but by God's grace, it's been protected. We haven't had any issues. And I'm just amazed at the growth. I wish I could put together on the screen the before pictures and the pictures as to now, but no need for that. I'm about to show you what's going on. So let's go. So we'll start at the far end, and just kind of for a frame of reference, we have 7 rows and they are 3 feet apart. And I remember when we started this, 3 feet looked like we were wasting space, like it wasn't enough, like it was too much space in between the rows. And I'll tell you, it is not too much space. It is good, and I could probably even stand to have 1 more foot of space, especially between the tomatoes and the beans. But so far so good. So this first row right here that I'm right in front of is the melon excuse me, and the watermelon row. So I'll walk you down. We've already started. You can see that it's filling out, and again, hindsight is 2020. There's definitely not enough space between this and this pepper bed, the second bed that you see right there, but so far it's okay. I don't know how it's going to end up, but the watermelons I planted are sugar baby watermelons. You can see that some are already starting to form. Let me see if I can adjust it. The sun is really, really, really bright. Can you see that little watermelon coming right there? Look at that. And so they're all the way around. And so what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to try to walk in between these rows. I'm sorry, y'all. The sun is so bright. So this whole row, half of the row, like I said, is watermelon. And then when we get down to like maybe halfway, it changes to cantaloupe. So I'm hoping to see how this does. And the sugar babies are, you know, a smaller version of watermelon. So if you have any tips on making the watermelon sweet, if there's things I can do now, please let me know. And then, but this row right here are all of the peppers. And you can see kind of as I walk through, there's all kinds of peppers. I have bell peppers, I have shishito peppers, I have hot pepper, I have jalapeno peppers. So let me just show you some of the stuff that's starting to fruit. You can see that one there. You can see this is completely, we got I think like 5 on there, and so far they're looking good. Now, one thing I've noticed with some of the peppers, once they started to turn, the insects were trying to get them. And so I had some bruising, and I had one that had like a hole in it. So I'm sorry, something went down the wrong way. But so I'm trying to look at them daily. And again, ideally, I want them to ripen to their full color on the vine. But what I have found in my experience, especially with peppers and tomatoes, is that once it starts to blush, meaning change color, a lot of times it is best to go ahead and pull it in, and because once it starts to blush is when it's really, really prone to insects. So if you want the pretty tomato, the pretty pepper without blemish and without it being destroyed, it's usually better to do that once it blushes. So, but these so far are doing good. And so let me keep showing you. So you can see here, y'all, look how big that is. Do y'all see that? That is pretty. And I didn't do a good job of doing my labels this time. I think that's a yellow. The way it's trying to turn is it looks yellow. But you can see all down. Let me show you some of the jalapenos are definitely coming in. You can see all of those there coming in nice and great. And I never have disease with my jalapenos. I don't know that it matters, but I'm wondering if it'd be better for me to do the tomatoes by type, meaning all of the cherry tomatoes together, all of the slicing tomatoes together, and then all of the paste tomatoes together. I don't know that it matters, except just for my own brain. But these are just kind of all in here, no matter what. But let me show you what some of these are looking like. I'm really excited about how they're looking. Y'all, look at that. They look so good. So they haven't turned yet, but I have a big old cluster. And remember, if you didn't see my videos where we were putting up the trellis, definitely go back and take a look at that. That has definitely helped, as I just show you all the way down. It's much neater than it would have been had we not pruned and put up a trellis. It's not perfect, but man, it is so much better than what we did last year. But you can see I have all varieties. These right here are a cherry tomato. This here is, I'm not sure what this is. And again, I did not do a great job of labeling this year, and I can tell you why that happened. This I know is a paste tomato there, but as you keep walking down, let me show you some of the slicing tomatoes. You can see them there. And again, they're looking really good. As of right now, no blemishes. These look uniform, they look great. So all we need them to do now is ripen and not get insect damage, and we're gonna have some really, really, really pretty tomatoes. And then look at this. Look how pretty that is. That is a zinnia. I have flowers interspersed throughout the garden for companion planting and just to make me happy. Just to make me happy. You can see there's more tomatoes down there. Those are large cherry tomatoes. They should turn red, if I'm not mistaken. That's another plant. And then, let me show you this. Way up there. See if you can see it. Oh, the sun is in my eyes, so I can't tell if you can see it or not. There it is. Look at that. Oh my goodness. The sun is so bright. I actually can't look at it and show you at the same time. Look at that Mexican sunflower. That's what that is. Oh, and I see I have my little dahlia plant is coming up out of the ground. Oh, y'all, look at my dahlia plant. Okay, I gotta stand that up. I gotta stand that up for sure. And I see that I need some more watering down here. But y'all, I love, look at that sunflower. So pretty, so pretty. So let me see if I can wade through here and show you. This is the corn. So it is forming, definitely. We have 3 rows of corn. We wanted to have 4, but if you've been watching me, you know that my 4th row just never germinated. And I'm not really sure why. I reseeded it like 3 or 4 times and just didn't get anywhere. You can see that we've already harvested and picked some corn, maybe 5 or 6 ears. But it wasn't as ready as it needed to be. So, but you can see here that overall it's looking good. It's looking good. So now I'm on the other side. This is like row 1, because I kind of walked around the back side. You can see that there, the corn. And then this row right here is all of the okra. The first half of the row is okra, and then again when I turn around, it's the corn behind me. So you can kind of get a frame of reference of where I am in the garden. And then I planted squash out here, and it is really doing really, really well. Look at that. Y'all got plenty to harvest. Plenty. Plenty, plenty, plenty. Plenty to harvest. Look at that. So pretty. It is actually doing better in the garden than it is in the raised bed out behind my house. So about the squash, so again, you guys know that I like to experiment. Since I have, you know, 3 different growing spaces. So I have the high tunnel that's behind me. Now I have the in-ground garden. And I also have raised beds behind my house. And inside the tunnel, I have raised beds in the tunnel. And then I'm also planting in the ground. So I guess you can call that like 4 or 5 different ways to grow. And so because I am a new gardener, I have planted some of the same things in multiple places. One, because I want to see where it does the best. And I've never had an in-ground garden space outside. So all of this is new. But so definitely putting the squash in the ground is new. And I wanted to see how it would do. And so far it's doing good. But my experience with squash has been, it always starts off really, really great, in my opinion. And then after like the first couple of harvests, in my opinion, I've had the squash bugs come, or just something happens and where they never last the whole season. And so it's going to be curious to see how this does outside. But so far, just the fruit of the squash plants look better. They're just like a really pretty yellow. They're smooth skin. They're just a nice size. I haven't had any disease or pest damage as of yet. So that's a plus. And I'm going to do a video on succession planting because, again, I'm in zone 7A. So I have a very, very long growing season, like 100+ days. So with squash, it's like a 50 to 60 day maturity. So literally, if I wanted to right now, the squash that's not doing good in my raised beds in the back, I could pull that up right now and replant squash, and I would still have squash again in the summer back there. So you can do squash probably 2 or 3, maybe 4 times if you're in an area like me with a long growing season. So I'm not as concerned because as long as you have seeds, you know, which is the cheaper way to do it, you can just put some squash seeds in the ground and have squash in like 40, 50 days or so. So anyway, this squash is looking good. Let me turn you back around. Okay, y'all. So this first row here is okra. You can see that some of it is, let me show you, it's starting to come up. You can see there. It's not coming fast and furious, and I don't know if it's because I'm having a lot of damage. You can see that this is all Japanese beetle damage. They have attacked my okra everywhere. I have used insecticidal soap. I have used the picking it off. I've used neem oil, but it's not working as well as I would like for it to work. And again, part of the reason, I've been traveling a lot, so I know it's something that you have to do like every day, and I just haven't been able to do it every day. It's one of the things about, you know, being a gardener. But look at this. This is burgundy okra. That's going to be so pretty. So yeah, let me know if you guys are having pest damage with your okra. And if you have any tips. And I'm wondering if that's stunting the growth of my okra. Meaning it's just not, I heard that okra is really prolific. I'm not seeing prolific yet. But maybe it's just still early in the season. We'll see. But this here, you can see, look at my poor plant, y'all, all on the ground. This is my green beans. You can see my husband is here. He's staking these up to give them some more support so they won't be on the ground. But these have come in and produced. These are the Provider green beans. You can see there's tons of them on here. I haven't tasted these. This is my first time growing them. So hopefully they're good. This row here is the Blue Lake beans. They have not produced as of yet. If you remember, I had a hard time getting these to germinate. I had to do it like 3 or 4 times. They're coming in now, but there's no beans yet. So I definitely love those. I did those last year and those are really good. And then I want to show you guys this row here. It has like transformed literally overnight. Y'all, go back and look at my video from last month. These were like, I think, just seeds in the ground and germinated. And look at them now. These are purple hull peas, I believe. And let me tell you why I say that. Okay, so those are purple hull peas. I've never grown purple hull peas. My assumption is that they would grow like black-eyed peas and be tall and vine. But these look really bushy. And so I probably need to Google an image and make sure. But if you guys have done purple hull peas, let me know if this is how they do. Because I assumed they would be like cow peas or black eyed peas, and they would go tall and vine. But this looks like a bush habit to me. And I just don't see it going from this to a vine, because we were going to put a trellis here. And obviously we haven't yet because we're behind. But I'm starting to wonder, does it vine? So please, y'all, let me know if you've done this before with the purple hull peas. Let me just show you once again. So yeah, y'all, as I look at these purple hull peas, because I've never done it before, I'm not quite sure what to look for to let me know when something is getting ready to sprout, fruit, whatever word you want to use. And a lot of times when you're doing something new for the first time, you don't know what to look for. So I don't see any flowers. I don't see anything that tells me something is about to happen, but it looks healthy, it looks green. And sometimes because everything is all green, it can be hard to see and identify, and you miss it. And you're like, oh my goodness, because it's kind of like the green beans over there. I had green beans. I don't know how long they had been there. They were just kind of blending in. It wasn't until I was just walking through and I moved something, I'm like, oh my goodness, there's tons of green beans. So these are the purple hull peas. If you've grown these before, let me know if this is what they're supposed to look like. I'm almost positive that was the seed packet I used. Like, I'm almost like 99.9%. I just, in my mind, thought it was going to trellis and vine, but this looks bushy. So let me know. So y'all, as I bring this to a close, I'm amazed at the growth. It's amazing when you start off with something and there's nothing there, and sometimes you're thinking it's not going to happen. I really thought this in-ground garden space wasn't going to happen. We were just busy. My husband was busy. I needed his help to kind of just get the ground prepped, and time just kept moving. I'm like, I'm not going to have a garden in the ground this summer. But lo and behold, I do. A lot of it. And so I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful to have the opportunity to learn. Now I'll tell you, this is a lot. Combined with the greenhouse, the other stuff behind the house, this just by itself is a lot if you don't do this full time. I'm not complaining, but this has been quite the journey and quite the experience. And right now as we speak, my kitchen counters are covered with stuff. I don't even have, because my husband and his travel schedule and my travel schedule, which not a good idea to travel a lot in the summer when you're trying to garden. But anyway, my kitchen counters are covered with stuff that I either need to eat, give away, or harvest. And I've given away a lot. Like, I've given away more than we've eaten at this point, because the harvest just started coming in the last 2 weeks. And so our schedules have just been really erratic. So I've had to give a lot of stuff away. And I know this is just the beginning. So I'm not worried or concerned that I won't have stuff to preserve or that we won't have stuff to eat ourselves. But man, once you grow it, you got to do something with it, right? You got to do something with it. But I'm grateful. I'm thankful for this space. I'm learning a ton about how to garden outside, for sure. But it makes me happy every time I walk down here or drive down here. Just when I look at this space, it makes me so happy. It feels like life, right? And I'm thinking, I can't believe I have this opportunity to grow all of this food, right? It's a blessing, and I just want to say that I'm grateful. And for those of you that watch and that follow, I just want to encourage you. Like, you may not have this space. You may have more than this amount of space. You may have never put your hands in dirt. Well, 2 years ago, I hadn't put my hands in dirt either. All I want to tell you is that if you want to grow food, you can. I don't know if you can see my shirt. Seeds want to grow. That's what my shirt says. And they do want to grow. It doesn't take much. All it takes is a willing spirit. It takes some seeds or some transplants and some dirt. That's it. It really is just that simple. And I know that if I can do it, anybody can do it. And so I want to encourage you. Start wherever you are. There's so much going on in the world right now. There's so many prices that are high. And some of you listen to me may need to be growing your food just out of necessity so that you can eat. Others of you may be growing it for a hobby. Others of you may be growing it to sell. But whatever your reason, grow your own food. If you grow one thing that you don't have to buy at the store, basil, tomatoes, okra, whatever it is. Start somewhere and be encouraged, right? I'm here to help you. I'm here to support you along the way however I can. I appreciate you guys. If you like what you're seeing, please subscribe to my channel. Please tell somebody else about it. And remember, gardening is a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time.